But Jim, you know, all wrestling and all sports start somewhere and grow, kind of like a seed.
Oh, God.
And I'm sorry for setting you up for the worst layup of all time, but I apologize.
You know, folks, since you may be as confused as I am about where we're going, I actually know I got no help in getting there. But, you know, sometimes it's a gut feeling, Brian. It's a gut feeling about these things that are changing. Your gut can change, too, with the gut feelings. You need to keep care of your gut. And it turns out, Brian, I don't know whether you were aware of this or not, but it turns out that everything you think you know about probiotics may be wrong.
No way.
Yeah, it's true.
Everything?
Everything.
Damn.
And since I knew absolutely not one goddamn thing about probiotics, apparently I was in the right, but I was still ignorant of the facts. But there is good news because there is a company, of an entity, a group of people called Seed, that have a daily symbiotic that's the real deal. Because everybody knows you got to have some symbiosis with your symbiotic. The daily symbiotic created by the folks at Seed, because not all probiotics are created equal, is a broad spectrum 2-in-1 probiotic plus prebiotic. So you got the probiotic, and then you got the prebiotic. So you got the pre and the pro, and they're all together 2-in-1. So you get both pre and pro at the same time. It's a proprietary formulation of 24 distinct probiotic strains. And I didn't know that there were 24 strains of probiotics. I actually didn't know that it was possible to strain a probiotic. I've strained my muscles. I've strained my milk one time, but I've never strained my probiotic. But there's 24 distinct probiotic strains in scientifically studied dosages, because if you're going to take a dose of something, it should be studied scientifically beforehand. There's also proprietary engineered 2-in-1 capsules that protect probiotics through digestion to ensure delivery to the colon. Now, folks, again, delivery to the colon is an issue for everybody. If you want to make sure that you have proper deliveries to your colon, first of all, people with narrow driveways or twisting driveways that have to come through an entry gate, like I have problems with my deliveries all the time. UPS, FedEx, they can't back those big trucks into that small. If you don't have a big opening, then deliveries to your colon are going to be more difficult. And then you've got to keep the back door open if you've got a long carry from where the truck stops to where the back door is, and then to get all the way into the colon to have this stuff delivered, make sure you move the furniture. If you've taken a probiotic before and never felt a difference, it's likely because the good bacteria was not surviving your GI tract. Did you know that the GI tract can kill the good bacteria?
Maybe the gerbil ate it.
Well, because again, gerbils, especially if they're on coke, they shouldn't have that appetite. But Seed is designed differently, and that's how it works, because it survives the GI tract. I know my Uncle Cliff, he had Army infantrymen in his GI tract, and they would mow down anything. But regardless of what kind of GIs you're using, is surviving an entire lineup of GIs is difficult. But what does the daily symbiotic do for you, you're asking me? Well, I'm telling you, it supports benefits in and beyond the gut. Seed will support ease of bloating. I've never had any problem becoming bloated. It's very easy for me. It's almost effortless. No, I understand what they're saying. They're going to ease the bloating. So if you are bloated, folks, if you look like you've been floating in the river for 3 days, or you're going dressed up as Chris Jericho for Halloween, you might need to have your bloating eased. Also, the daily symbiotic from our friends at Seed promotes healthy regularity. healthy regularity and ease of evacuation, if you know what I mean. You know what that means. You're not only going to be regular, possibly you might be unstoppable on this stuff. And boy, I tell you what, it's not going to be any problem dropping the Browns off at the Super Bowl and letting the fudge monkey out of his cage. This stuff, it's like you've drunk a quart of motor oil. It'll grease and just shoot right out your orifice. It'll be so easy. You'll never even know it'll fall out without you knowing it.
No, that's not how it works. You will be in control of your bodily functions, but it'll certainly help if you do have things like bloating. It'll help ease things, but you will be in control. Let's make sure we stress that.
Well, sometimes I could just, without taking this stuff, I can barely get to the toilet before that fucking chocolate rocket's being fired off. So if this helps, I may just be walking around just evacuating, talking to you. You never know about these things. It also supports your gut barrier, your skin health, your heart health, and micronutrient bowel movement. Oh, no, micronutrient synthesis. I skipped a line there.
Micronutrient bowel movement?
Apparently no such thing as a micronutrient bowel movement because I skipped a line on this copy. But it's important to note that gut immune function is not boosting the immune system. It's about supporting the crosstalk between your intestinal cells and your immune cells. So you can talk between cells. Sometimes they pass notes between cells, but that's only when the guards are not looking. Many of you folks will see improvements in your digestion within 24 to 48 hours, which can include bowel movement regularity and eased bloating. You might notice that within a couple of days. Some of you will notice an inability to eat solid food for the rest of your life after this. But that can be easily fixed with our special liquid diet that we sell separately. So,
all right, keep going. I give up.
I'm coming back in a second. So start a new healthy habit.
I'll mute myself.
So start a new healthy habit today. Healthy habits are very important to start. Visit seed.com, SEED.com, parentheses. Is it a slash or a parentheses? There's a slash and it's in parentheses.
No, I don't think you need to use the parentheses. I think it's just the word drive.
Seed.com/drive and use the code DRIVE to redeem 20% off your first month of Seed's Daily Synbiotic. That's an awkward way of saying I think you're going to get 20% off. That's seed.com, SEED.com/drive. Jump on this stuff and get this 20% off while that's still available, because I have a feeling once they hear this, it won't be for long. Again, start a new healthy habit today with our friends at Seed. And also, you'll get this box. I got this box, and it's got 2 containers in it. One is a jar of the Daily Synbiotic, and another is a tube. It looks like a test tube, and it's green, and it's got a screw on top, and it's labeled bacteria. And to be honest, I've started taking the Synbiotic, and that's why it's amazing. I've lost 40, 50 pounds in the last 36 hours. It's amazing.
No, you haven't. Don't even say that. Of course you haven't.
I'm sorry. I'm just kidding there. But this test tube is just labeled bacteria. And because it's a green glass tube with a screw on top and it's labeled bacteria, I'm thinking that you should keep this part at home. Because if you try to fly with this stuff, you could probably get sentenced to a federal penitentiary for trying to take active bacteria in a test tube on a plane.
Don't worry about traveling with your Seed. And of course, Seed comes with directions on how to apply and how to use Seed.
It does come with all the directions, and you can travel with your Seed. You can travel with your Seed. You can spread your Seed all over the place if you want to.
We want to thank Seed for becoming a sponsor of the show here. But Jim,
thank Seed for their fine
Speed.
7 days of sponsorship.